Hey, all right, welcome to Wrestling Uncensored. Tonight on the show, we will preview the AEW Winter is Coming, December 2nd edition of Dynamite. Also recap Raw and Smackdown this week. We're on the road to TLC. Who will face Drew McIntyre for the WWE Championship? Will it be Keith Lee, Matt Riddle, or AJ Styles? They do battle in a triple threat coming up on Monday. And what went down on Smackdown? Kevin Owens versus Roman Reigns at TLC? Are we headed for that? Wrestling Uncensored starts right now. Hey, Big Johnny. I'm Dave Simon. That's Johnny North. Johnny North, professional wrestler extraordinaire. Although at this point, when's the last time you've been in a ring, Big Johnny? It's been far too long since I've been ringside for one of your matches. When's the last time you had a match? Has it been a year now?
It'll be a year, February 26th, I believe. So we're getting there. We're close.
I hope you don't get there. I hope something happens between now and then, and we could see you back in the ring soon.
I don't see that happening any time around here. Like, that's not going to happen.
Probably right.
Let's be realistic. It's just the way it is. It's sad,
well,
but it's true.
Somebody's wrestling in the world today. There are people wrestling. We watched them. Saw Sami Zayn wrestle tonight against Daniel Bryan on SmackDown. I enjoyed that. Shout out to everybody watching us on the chat right now. I'm seeing you. Everybody watching live, Lauren Cronish, Bob Cote, Franco316. Thank you guys for watching. Everybody else for watching us on Twitch, on Facebook Live, and of course on YouTube. We are here every Friday night right after the Smacking Down is done. What'd you think of SmackDown tonight?
I started off slow, I thought. Like, first hour, it was kind of forgettable. Second hour got better, though. Like, it felt like they actually picked up the action. Like, I think that's what hurt it, was that we started off with a promo, kind of sluggish, not a lot of action. We didn't have a match. The first match was kind of a dud, too, that tag match. But then it got better.
I guess so. So we started off the night, Jey Uso with an in-ring promo bragging about Roman Reigns winning at Survivor Series. Jey then introduced Roman, who came to the ring with Paul Heyman. They played a video package showing Jey leading the Survivor Series team losing their match, and then Roman winning with Jey's help over Drew McIntyre. Roman on the video package, very happy with Jey, was hugging Jey. Then we come back to the ring, and Roman's mad at Jey Uso. He's like, I didn't tell you to help me in the match. It's like, dude, 5 days ago you were very happy with me. Now you're pissed. I don't really understand Roman's mood swings. But Roman says Jey's team lost at Survivor Series because they don't respect Jey Uso. They don't fear Jey Uso. They need to be feared. They need to have the family feared on SmackDown. And Roman is disgusted with Jey Uso and his losing ways because he's a winner and he has no time for it. So Roman and Heyman walk away. And then Otis comes out for a match. Jey Uso's starting to make his exit. Otis comes out for his match before Jey's gone. Jey starts walking back, but you know he's going to come back and attack Otis because he's been disrespected. So he beats up Otis with a chair for a while, and that was that. So the Jey Uso, Roman Reigns, respect for the family story is what took us through most of SmackDown this week. We had a Sami Zayn versus Daniel Bryan match that I thought was very good, up until the unfortunate finish, which was a count-out. Sami Zayn beating Daniel Bryan by count-out. I didn't even hate the finish. It's just, it all ran into the Jey Uso storyline with Roman Reigns. So a couple weeks ago, 2-3 weeks ago now, Jey Uso beats Daniel Bryan, and then Roman tells him to beat him up and beat him severely. He puts Daniel Bryan out for a number of weeks. Last week, Bryan comes back, beats Jey Uso 1, 2, 3 in the middle of the ring. Sami and Bryan have this match. Sami runs backstage. Daniel chases him. The referee is doing the count. Sami reemerges. Daniel Bryan does not. Sami gets back into the ring, beats the count of 10, wins by countout. Then we cut to backstage, and Jey Uso, once again, is beating up on Daniel Bryan. Kevin Owens shows up, and he's like, I've had enough of this, and he pulls Jey Uso off, and then Kevin Owens goes to Roman Reigns and Jey Uso and Paul Heyman and tells them that he's sick of them and he's sick of their ways and he doesn't respect their family and he's tired of them doing these things to everybody, right? So then, of course, the main event is Kevin Owens versus Jey Uso. Jey Uso is in trouble. He decides to hit Kevin Owens with a chair. Kevin Owens wins by disqualification at that point. It seems like maybe Jey Uso's just going to give a beatdown to Kevin Owens, but no. Kevin Owens hits a stunner, turns the tables on Jey Uso, beats the hell out of him with the steel chair. He's yelling at the camera. He's like, this is what I think of your family. This is what I think of you, Roman. And he's like beating up Jey Uso with the chair. And he's like, you want people to fear you, but I fear no one, including you, Roman Reigns. And he's like talking right to the camera. And, of course, you're seeing backstage, Roman is watching this whole thing on a TV sideways. Of course, the sideways TV, classic WWE. So, most of SmackDown, I mean, we saw here, look, the opening promo, the main event, a match in between, like 3 solid and good lengthy segments. The majority of this show centered around Roman Reigns still not being satisfied with Jey Uso, needing him to do more damage to like a bunch of people, and then Jey Uso attacking a bunch of people. Attacking Otis, attacking Daniel Bryan, having a match with Kevin Owens, attacking him with a chair before he got attacked and just destroyed. So, you know, making a lot of enemies. The Usos, well, I guess one Uso and Roman Reigns. Is Jimmy with them? I'm still not sure what side Jimmy's on. I guess he's not with them yet. He's still hurt, I know that, but like he's been around a little bit. Is he down with the program or does it matter?
I think he supports his brother no matter what. I think they got that kind of relationship, but I don't think he's pleased with Roman. But they don't really expand on that because there's not much they can do when he can't really do much.
Right. So, you know, a lot of SmackDown was about this Roman thing. Kevin Owens making a statement. Do you think we see Kevin Owens versus Roman one-on-one for the Universal title at TLC? We have 3 more episodes of SmackDown and Raw before TLC on the 20th of December. It does seem like a long way away, but December 1st is Tuesday, so it's not that long away. December 20th, 3 more episodes of Raw and SmackDown. So it'll be 3 weeks from this Sunday, TLC. I feel like they've set up Roman Reigns versus Kevin Owens here tonight, which I was not expecting.
Well, earlier in the night, we saw Daniel Bryan cut a promo. It was supposed to be about Sami Zayn, but right away he cut the promo about Jey Uso and Roman Reigns. So usually when that happens, it's like, well, you're kind of like telling us you're not really feuding with Sami Zayn, you're going to feud with Roman Reigns. But then Kevin did that thing. So it looks like I think Kevin's probably going to get the first shot against Roman, and Daniel Bryan later on is probably going to wrestle Roman, probably at the Rumble, I'm guessing.
Yeah. So what does Daniel Bryan do at TLC? Anything?
Maybe Jey Uso.
Maybe the return match with Sami?
I feel like, because that was a great promo they did with Big E and Sami. I really hope they do that. I'd love to see that match, actually.
Yeah. But I feel like there's unfinished business between Sami and Daniel Bryan still. Right? I mean, Bryan won by countout, or Sami won by countout.
Right? So Daniel Bryan should not get a title shot because of that.
Yeah, but Jey Uso caused that. Sami didn't win. I think there's unfinished business there. I could do Sami and Bryan at TLC. I guess you could do Big E and Sami. What is Big E? He's just like a backstage commentary guy. It's like he's not involved in any matches. He just talks about things. He talks to the Street Profits about how they're going to lose to New Day every single week. He talks to Apollo Crews and Sami Zayn about their various careers in WWE. He's kind of like what the Street Profits were when they first came in. You remember when the Street Profits first got brought up from NXT? They were like on Raw, and they would just kind of comment on things happening. They weren't active wrestlers. That's kind of the role Big E's in right now. I don't know if he really gets the Intercontinental title shot because right now he's just like a backstage promo guy. It's weird.
Well, regardless though, he had that thing with Sammy where he shook his hand and then like hanged on for 10 seconds, squeezed it. Like there's something there. They're building towards something. Hopefully it's a match, not just 1 week SmackDown, because I really feel Daniel Bryan, Jey Uso, you could go with that for a while. That's 1-1. Like they both have a win apiece against each other. You have the rubber match at the pay-per-view.
Yeah. Okay, I guess so. I guess you could do that. Daniel Bryan, Jey Uso, setting Daniel Bryan up for the Roman Reigns match at Royal Rumble. But Kevin Owens, one-on-one with Roman Reigns, you think this is a TLC match?
That's a great question. I'm not sure about that. If it was multi-man, yeah, sure. And I know they've done singles TLC matches, but I'd actually rather see this one-on-one. Like I don't think it needs the TLC kind of gimmick. I think this match would be good just as a wrestling match.
Yeah, but I think it would be much better if it were TLC.
Well, they might throw in like just a ladder stipulation. Maybe they'll throw in the chairs or tables. Who knows? Like I don't know if it really needs to. Do you really? Well, this will probably end the show, right? So
yeah,
maybe just because it ends the show, it has to be TLC.
Yeah, and Kevin and Roman, they're big bump guys. You know, this is the type of match for them. Kevin especially has become like a gigantic bump guy in WWE, and you know he's not going to win this match, so at least let him go crazy and show out and have a memorable performance, you know? A one-on-one match with Roman is not going to be memorable. But a TLC match with Roman, you know, they can do something there. Roman could take a big fall. I hope it's TLC. I really do. Because I think one-on-one, especially on the pay-per-view called TLC, like, how do they pull this off as a main event? Roman's matches have been so bad as world champion so far. I think they need a Kevin Owens TLC match to kind of spice things up and make you go, oh yeah, well Roman's not so bad. But really it's Kevin Owens and the gimmick, right?
Well, so far they've sold a chair match, right? Because he beat the crap out of Jey Uso with the chair. So, I mean, if they add in like a table, maybe if Kevin takes a bump next week, like they'll help tell you if it's going to be a TLC match or not.
Mm-hmm. Kevin Owens sitting at the head of the table. Tribal Chief Kevin Owens sitting at the head of the announce table to mock Roman Reigns. I like that quite a bit at the end of SmackDown. I like Kevin Owens at the end of SmackDown. Good intensity. You know, barking at Roman Reigns, barking at the camera. That was good stuff from KO. I was happy to see him get that spot because, like, where's he been?
I liked the way it ended. I didn't like the backstage promo they did beforehand, like where Daniel Bryan got jumped, and then Kevin goes up and talks to Roman and Jey. Like after someone gets jumped like that, it should be anarchy. It shouldn't be like we're gonna now talk like face to face like this. Like to me, that kind of threw off the fact that we're in a fight here. They just get civilized for some reason. Like I don't get that. It doesn't really make a lot of sense there. But I did like the way they sold Kevin at the end. That was pretty good. It's just this should have happened earlier though. Like they could have done this earlier. Remember like when Jey wrestled Kevin, they could have like hinted that this was going to happen before it would happen.
When was this?
Well, remember when Jey was winning those matches? He beat Daniel Bryan, he beat Kevin. Like you could have hinted that, you know, Kevin wanted a piece of Roman.
Right. Yeah, there was no indication that the Kevin Owens Roman Reigns thing was ever going to happen until tonight, and all of a sudden it was like, oh, I guess they're going with the Kevin Owens Roman Reigns. Because it really felt like Daniel Bryan was on that path, right? Daniel Bryan has that match a few weeks ago with Jey Uso, gets beat up, Roman Reigns is there. Bryan's cutting promos about Jey Uso and Roman Reigns. He has the match last week before Survivor Series, beats Jey Uso. You figure, oh, Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns is coming up. And then all of a sudden, they throw this Kevin Owens thing at us, which I'm not mad at. It's just like kind of out of nowhere. A little surprising. And I do think we'll get to Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns down the road, maybe at the Rumble. Right? So either way, doesn't really matter. Just a little bit of a surprise. But I'm not mad at it. But I do get your point about Kevin Owens. Like, why would he go and just talk to Jay and Kevin after they beat up Daniel Bryan for no reason? Or Jay and Roman, right? And and it wasn't even Kevin that demanded the match. It was Paul Heyman who went to talk to Adam Pearce to get the match with Jey Uso and Kevin Owens. It's not like Kevin Owens was like, I demand a match. I'm going to get you in the ring tonight, Jey Uso. He was just like, Roman, I'm tired of you and I don't like you. Right? And then Paul Heyman is like, oh, you say that. Now you have to wrestle Jey Uso. Kevin Owens is like, all right. But he didn't demand a match. He didn't demand a fight.
But at least at the end, they made him look great. So that kind of saved it in the end.
He looked great at the end of the show. I thought he really looked good. The other big story of SmackDown this week, I don't know about you, but to me, is the Mysterio family.
Oh.
Did they finally turn heel? Like, I feel like this is where they needed to be the whole time. Heels. I don't like them. And Corey Graves finally on commentary doing some things that I enjoy. Talking about Dominic Mysterio. He's like, Ray's great, but what's Dominic ever done? What are his career accomplishments? Why is he here? All he's done is he was born, and that's pretty much where it ends. Like, Graves was just nailing Dominic Mysterio. Dominic, Aaliyah, who's like arm in arm with big old Buddy Murphy, and Rey Mysterio, they all go to the ring for Murphy's match with King Corbin. Dominic is on the apron constantly. Aaliyah gets involved, like stands in front of King Corbin to stop him from attacking Buddy Murphy. Rey is like cheating for Buddy Murphy. Corey Graves couldn't believe it. Corbin was really mad after the match, cut a promo challenging Murphy to a rematch next week. Like, what was going on here with the Mysterio family? Is this finally the heel turn that we've been waiting for? This is what I wanted to see. I am not liking Dominic or Aaliyah, and it's making me dislike Rey. So if I'm disliking them, they must be heels. Except they wrestled King Corbin to do it. So it's kind of like, are they? Are they, John?
Well, I guess because they're doing it against a guy like Baron Corbin, it's okay to do it. I guess that's the justification with that. And they're family, so family looks out for each other. So they're justified through that. However, I agree with you as well that to me they come off as bad people. And in the end, they're actually making Seth Rollins seem like he was the good guy actually. And Rey was actually the villain all along.
Yeah, Seth was right all along. He was truly the Messiah. Rey was bad. Rey deserved to get his eye poked out. And I hope they
Which
poke
is fine
out
now, by the way.
Dominic and Aaliyah's eyes as well. Okay? Just rip all the eyes out of the Mysterio family.
Rey's eyes completely okay now? Like he can see him?
I didn't notice.
Yeah.
Well, Seth is officially gone, right? He got on his knees and took a bro kick from Sheamus at Survivor Series for no reason in particular. And now he's gone. That was the way to write him off. He's dealing with Becky and their upcoming child, right?
And he'll come back to a huge fake pop, so that'll be great for him.
Yeah, big fake pop. Did they turn them heel, though? Are they heels now, John? You didn't give me an answer. Yes or no?
No, I don't think they are.
I'm going to say yes.
For WWE.
They are. The Mysterio family are heels. I don't like them. Aaliyah is awful. What was that smile she gave Corbin when Corbin was about to run into her? What was that?
It's called bad acting.
It's really bad. It was very, very bad. So I didn't like that, and I guess next week we'll have to sit through another Murphy and the Mysterios versus King Corbin match. But Corbin says next week he'll be ready. What does that mean?
He's going to back up.
Who?
Lots of backup.
Who could back him up? Does he have a child too?
That's a good question.
Does he have a luchador? Like, does he have a lady to beat up Aaliyah? Like, what does he have? Who? He doesn't have friends.
Hopefully, you know what? Like, it'd be great if he got Lars Sullivan. If like he decided to be friends with Lars Sullivan because he felt bad for Lars Sullivan being bullied. To me, that would make a lot of sense.
The Freak. Whatever happened to the Freak? We haven't seen him in weeks. He wasn't at Survivor Series. To me, if you're booking a SmackDown Survivor Series team, if you're the captain of the SmackDown team, wouldn't you want the Freak on your team? They didn't book him. No Freak. They put Otis there instead. Big jabroni Otis.
You could tell why. If they got swept, of course they're not going to put Lars there. They don't want Lars to get beat like that.
Right. But, I mean, in a real way, wouldn't you want Lars on your team? So, Lars, the Freak, where's he been? I haven't seen him on SmackDown in at least 3 weeks. Did they give up on him? Like he gave up on that poor man who was... Anyways, I'm not going to go into the details of Lars's porno. But let's just say he didn't finish, just like his current angle. No finish.
Well, again, we've talked about this before on SmackDown. It seems like there's limited spots available. Like, you don't see everyone every week, right? Like, we barely saw Otis at all.
We haven't seen Lars in a while. I'm not mad at it. I don't really care. We barely saw Otis, but, like, again, I like Otis gets beat up by Jey Uso, and then they show you during the commercial break, Chad Gable came and helped Otis to the back. It is still not clear, like 4 weeks into this thing, what the deal is with Gable and Otis. Like, what?
It's like a life coach. That's what I think he's supposed to be.
There's been very little development on that whole matter, but hey, that's WWE. They start things and then they kind of forget. They lose interest, just like their audience. Put Billie Kay on commentary. When she went up there and she's like, here's my resume and my headshot, and you got to be joking me. I was like, yes, put Billie Kay on commentary. She's fantastic. They're giving her this demeaning thing. She's so much more talented than what WWE is allowing her to be. I'm such a Billie Kay fan. I think I'm one of the few. Well, I'm telling you, Billie Kay is money. On the microphone, she is money. If she were on commentary, everybody would be like, oh, wow, Billie Kay's so good. Yes, Billie Kay's good. That lady is hilarious. She cracks me up.
You know, to be fair, I'd give it a week, you know. Let her try it out. Let's see how it is. Like, I'm a little worried that it's going to be annoying as hell, but, you know, all commentary usually sucks in WWE anyways, so this can't be any worse than what we already have.
I like Billie Kay. I'm a big fan. I think they should use her more. More Billie Kay. Less Carmella. Carmella did a backstage promo. Sasha Banks attacked her. When are they going to wrestle? TLC or like next week on SmackDown? We have to wait till TLC?
Yeah, probably TLC, it looks like. I think maybe we'll get Bayley and Bianca, I think, on TV, but I think the title match will be for the pay-per-view.
Yeah, Bianca beat Natty. Bayley was on commentary. Bianca punched Bayley accidentally, and then Bayley got on the apron. Natty got pushed into Bayley, which distracted her, allowing Bianca to roll up Natty for the win. A little bit of a weird finish there. A lot of weird finishes on SmackDown tonight, right? Like a lot of non-finishes. Did anything finish clean?
Roll-ups.
Rude and Ziggler beat the Street Profits clean. Rude rolled up Montez for the pin, 1, 2, 3, middle of the ring. It was a roll-up, but he still beat him clean. Non-title match, so I guess they'll get a title match at some point. Who cares? That match was not great.
Well, it's just amazing you see the Street Profits actually lose a match. I mean, that's rarely happened at all this year. So
yeah.
But
and why did Angelo Dawkins say that Bobby Roode can't grow facial hair anywhere else in his upper lip? And then you cut to Bobby Roode. He's got a full beard. His whole face is beard. It was a really weird thing to say in a promo when you're looking at the man. You're like, oh, you can only grow a mustache. The guy's got a full beard. What are you talking about? Look at him. Is he blind? I don't understand.
And then look at yourself, and it's like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, Bobby Roode has a much thicker beard than Angelo Dawkins. It was a very strange comment in the promo, and commentary was even like, what is he talking about? It was weird. I'm not a huge fan of the Street Profits. I think they have their moments, but they also have moments where I think they're awful. I think what happened to the Street Profits was that whole Viking Raiders thing that they did first, right? And I can't really forgive them for that. I think
that was bad.
That memory of the Street Profits just being annoying and terrible. They haven't done anything to come back from that. You know, they haven't redeemed themselves from all those weeks of terrible television that they gave us. So until the Street Profits do something amazing, in my mind, I don't like them. Okay? I just don't. The promos are like, and their matches are, like, there's nothing that special about them. Even though I gave them match of the night against New Day at Survivor Series, I thought that was the best match on that card. That card was not very good, and they did wrestle the best tag team in the business, so that helps.
Well, it's debatable best tag team in the business, but maybe in WWE, I think that's hard not to say.
Who's better?
Well, according to PWI, like 7 other teams, I think New Day finished like 8th or something. Like,
yeah,
there's a bunch of other teams.
Who cares what PWI says? I care what MeWI says, okay? And Me Wrestling Illustrated says New Day is number 1. The Young Bucks are number 2. And then it's everybody else. That's how I see it.
Really?
New Day 1.
I'm a little surprised by that.
Why?
Well, I thought you were a big fan of Kenny and Hangman as a tag team.
I don't see them as a real tag team. Are we still calling them a tag team? They worked each other at the last pay-per-view, one-on-one. It's not a tag team. Yeah, but
for most of this year, they were tag champs.
Oh, whatever. Fine. Well, they're really good, and I love them both, but, like, they're not a tag team. They never had a tag team name. Unless you have a tag team name and you're a real tag team and your whole storyline isn't to eventually break you up to make it a deeper story, like, I don't really consider you a tag team. They had a tag team title run. They're not a tag team. I doubt they'll ever have another tag team title run in AEW. I don't see why they would.
Well, too early to say, I think, on that one, though. But
yeah, but I don't see those guys as a tag team. New Day 1, Young Bucks 2, then everybody else. Okay? And like I couldn't really tell you. Is FTR 3? No. Are Penta and Phoenix 3? Probably. You know? The Usos are really good when they're, kicking. When they're a tag team. I don't know, man. It's not super deep. Like, people talk about how great the tag team division is. And yeah, there are some very good tag teams in the world today. But are they close to New Day and the Young Bucks? Like, I don't know. FTR's close, I guess. Penta and Phoenix are close. They're in the conversation. AEW definitely has a deeper roster of great tag teams, but I still see New Day as the best. They're just so good. They're just so good all around. And if you were to put them size-wise next to Young Bucks or even FTR, they're bigger guys, especially Big E when he's on the team. And the promos, like, entertainment-wise, look, the Bucks are great, being the elite, all that stuff. And New Day and the Bucks, like, to me, it depends on the week. Who's the best tag team in the world, New Day or the Young Bucks? To me, they're 1 and 1A. And it's a coin toss between those two. Right now, I feel like New Day is the best. But Young Bucks are very good, too. They're right there. They're the best in their company, for sure. Then it's everybody else.
Well, I think you can admit this was not a good week for the New Day this week. That Raw match, not one of the best outings they had.
New Day versus Shelton and Cedric. I didn't hate it. Not the best, but, not the worst.
Well, they really, something got screwed up there. Like I think we talked about this off air. I think I texted you about it or something.
Yeah.
There was some sort of count out, but I don't think there was supposed to be a count out there or something, and it just was very awkward there. I think you could tell, like when they got in the ring afterwards for business, and then you saw New Day walking away. It looked like something was completely off, and they just had to like get it back on track. The match because the match was off. I don't know if you saw that as well.
Yeah,
or not,
I don't know. I didn't. Yeah, I was not fully paying attention to this match as much as I could have been, but you think that the count out was like a botched finish? They didn't mean to do the count out there, and that's why they had to restart.
Well, I think if they were supposed to do the count out, it was supposed to not be like double count out because then it just looked weird where you had New Day walk away like, oh well, we don't have to do this match anymore. I think it was supposed to be like New Day was supposed to get counted out and be like, oh, her business was supposed to be like, oh, you guys are cowards, whatever. Like you guys should take count out like loss like that. And then I think they were supposed to come back and be like, no, like we're gonna defend the belts, like we'll do this again. But them leaving on a double count out makes it look like they just don't care kind of thing.
Okay. I don't know. It didn't seem like a big deal to me. New Day eventually won. Woods rolled up Shelton for the pin. New Day retains the Raw Tag Team titles. Was what it was. Not their best match, but again, like even when New Day doesn't have their best match, it's still better than most other teams going. What are the other tag teams on Raw? Like who else is there? Just on Raw. There's nobody. You have New Day, you have Shelton and Cedric. Are there any other tag teams on Monday Night Raw?
Well, we can count some sort of team from Retribution, right? Because that's a faction. So I'm sure they could put two members together. That's a team of some kind.
Okay.
After that, it gets kind of hard. I guess the Lucha House Party. There you go.
Are they on Raw?
Yeah, they're on Raw.
Mm. And at some point, Ivar will come back and the Viking Raiders will be a team again, right?
There you go.
That'll be good. I look forward to that. But yeah, it's a very weak tag team division on Raw and on SmackDown. Very, very slim pickings.
Well, we've said this time and time again, like they shouldn't have two sets of tag team titles. There should only be one. I mean, if there was only one tag team title, it wouldn't be so bad in WWE.
Yeah. I mean, look at SmackDown. Other than Ziggler and Rude. Well, I guess Miz and Morrison are a tag team, right? They're a Raw tag team. There's another one. Kind of. But Miz is like Money in the Bank now, so they're barely in the tag team division. But on SmackDown, it's like Ziggler, Rude, Street Profits. Maybe the Usos when Jimmy Uso comes back. Like, they have no tag teams, and they broke up Otis and Tucky for no reason. They had a tag team called Heavy Machinery, a real tag team, and they just broke them up. They have no tag teams. They have a super weak division. They break up Otis and Tucky to what? Make them jobbers? I mean, Tucky is like a main event jobber, and not like in the main event of the card. On WWE Main Event, the TV show, yes, that's still a TV show. That's where Tucky can be found. Jobbing to like Ricochet, you know? Not good. Not good for Tucky. Not good for Otis. Otis is barely doing anything. They break up a perfectly serviceable tag team for no reason. And then your tag team division's even weaker. I don't get it. I don't get it. Adam Pearce starts out Raw with AJ Styles, Matt Riddle, Braun Strowman, Keith Lee, Sheamus. Talking about Team Raw's win at Survivor Series. And says that they have won the right to say why they should get the next shot at Drew McIntyre's WWE title. They all argued about who was the MVP of their team. It was a very messy promo in the ring. Not very good. Pearce asked Strowman why. Pearce goes to Strowman. He's like, okay, he's asked all the guys, like Sheamus and Keith Lee and AJ Styles, to state their case, and they all argue, right? Then Adam Pearce goes to Braun Strowman. Last but not least, Braun Strowman. And Braun Strowman's like, what do you mean last but not least? what's that supposed to mean? I'll kill you. And he's like, he grabs him and he throttles him. He's really confused by the expression, and he tosses Adam Pearce down to the mat. And you're like, Braun, are you an idiot? Have you never heard last but not least? There's nothing insulting about that, dude. Why are you so mad? Braun looked like such a moron. Last but not least, Braun Strowman. What's that supposed to mean? What do you mean? It means you're last, but you're not the least. You're not the least important, even though you're going last. You happen to be going last, but we want to say you're still very important. You're Braun Strowman. What the hell is that supposed to mean? I'll eat you alive, Adam Pearce. Roar! Like, what the fuck was that? What is the matter with that guy?
My reaction was, what? Why'd you give him a headbutt? Like, you can't punch him or anything, or just push him down? Like, why'd you have to headbutt him? Like, that was awkward.
I don't know. I don't know what the hell that was, but apparently Braun Strowman might have like a knee injury, and that was a way to write him off because Adam Pearce has suspended Braun Strowman indefinitely for his attack. So, that was dumb. So they set up 3 singles matches for Raw. And, we have to play this.
Haven't we done this before? I feel like we've done this before. Like, they had a bunch of matches, and then the final match will be like a 3-way of some kind, and then the winner will face Drew McIntyre. Like,
who?
We've done this before. Like, wasn't this for like the setup for Clash of Champions? Like, there's a bunch of single matches that led to a triple threat match. We've already done this.
Yeah, they're not very creative, John. They don't really come up with good ideas. But they do say funny things. Because you said...
Here we go.
What did you say his name was? Drew who? McIntyre? Because I think he goes by a different name now.
Winners of those matches will meet next week.
So here's Adam Pearce explaining to us what's going to happen on Raw.
The winners of those matches will meet next week on Raw in a triple threat, and the winner of that match will go on to face Drew McIntyre for the triple threat, and the winner of that match will go on to face Drew McIntyre.
Drew McIntyre. Did you catch that on Raw this week?
I think everyone caught that on Raw this week.
Series of 3 singles matches. The winners of those matches will meet next week on Raw in a triple threat, and the winner of that match will go on to face Drew McIntyre for the WWE Championship. Series of 3 singles matches.
Drew McIntyre. He will forever be known as Drew McIntyre on this show. Wow, good job, Adam Pearce. Like, why is Adam Pearce cutting promos? And, Drew McIntyre was really, I don't know. I don't know how that happens. Why McIntyre? Why did he say McIntyre? Like, when Kane congratulated Daniel Bryan on his hard fart victory, that was one thing. You could see how he would slip up. Hard fought victory, hard fart victory. I mean, hard fart victory is still one of the funniest things I've ever heard said on Raw. Kane
it is
on the mic. Daniel Bryan, congratulations on your hard fart victory. What's a hard fart? Oh, I just like the expression. But Drew McIntyre, like, where did that come from? How did he slip up and say McIntyre? And why am I watching Adam Pearce on TV so damn much? God damn.
I think what's more amazing is that we didn't have Drew come out and, like, say anything. Like, he wasn't on the show at all. So, like, that pretty much was just uncontested the whole time. And, like, they should have, like, done a thing with Drew, like, to go against Pearce. They're probably going to this week, but it's a little late.
I wish it was a real crowd. McIntyre. Just chanting McIntyre at him. Just ripping him. He comes out, I'm so grateful to be here as your champion. I'm so grateful to be Drew McIntyre. McIntyre. I'm grateful, McIntyre. You know? Just ripping that guy to shreds. McIntyre. And then there was three matches. So Riddle beat Sheamus. I thought the match was pretty good. And then Keith Lee beat Bobby Lashley by disqualification when MVP attacked for no reason. MVP was like, enough of this. Very weird finish there. And then AJ beat Randy Orton in the main event, which we can talk about here in a second, how that all went down. But now it'll be AJ versus Keith Lee versus Riddle in a triple threat. The winner faces Drew at some point for the WWE title. They didn't say, but I'm guessing TLC, right? To face Drew McIntyre?
I would guess, because like you said, we're only a couple weeks away from the next pay-per-view, so it makes sense.
Yeah. I think it'll be TLC, brother. See, like WWE, I just can't let go of the dead man either. I'm rocking the Undertaker coffee mug here. They did the tribute at Survivor Series, the video package on Raw, then the same video package on SmackDown. So I am representing for the dead man here. All right. Rest in peace.
I highly recommend if you haven't seen already, The Undertaker does cameos now. Those are fantastic. You really should see them. Highly entertaining.
Why?
Just to see The Undertaker in character and just giving these heartfelt messages to people, it's fun.
All right. Well, The Undertaker, I think we've seen enough of him for a little while. The Fiend, the new guy from the evil depths, he helped AJ get the win. Randy Orton was ringside, outside the ring during the match. The Fiend showed up behind the barricade. The Fiend lights went again. And did you notice that when the Fiend lights hit for the second time when Randy was in the ring, when they came back on, Randy appeared disoriented? Like he had been put, like he was dizzy or some curse had been put upon him? The hell was that? And then Randy was like, all like, oh, where am I? What's happening? And then AJ hit the phenomenal forearm. AJ not disoriented in any way by the lights. Hits his finish for the win. AJ advances to the triple threat. Like, what the hell was that? Why was Randy disoriented by the lights of the Fiend? That was dumb.
Well, you're going to get a lot of this, though. Remember, if you remember Bray against Orton in the past, you saw the whole like video on the ring. Remember that? Like, we're going to get a bunch of this like over dramatic, over like emphasizing the everything what the Fiend does. You're going to see a lot of this, and I don't think you're going to like this one bit. Like, hopefully it's not going to be like the House of Horrors. Like, hopefully it's not going to be like that, but
they're bringing it back up. Right?
Well, I'm bringing it up because like they're probably going to try to top it.
Ugh. Awful. Randy Orton will appear on Moment of Bliss with the evil, fiendish Alexa Bliss on Monday Night Raw. Also on Raw Monday, it'll be Riddle versus Lee versus AJ. So Riddle and Lee are both babyfaces, and the winner gets a shot against the babyface champion. AJ's the only heel in this match. Logic would dictate AJ would win, but for some reason I feel like they're going to give it to Keith Lee.
Yeah, it's tough. It's like if Sheamus was in this match, I definitely think Sheamus would win this match, but he didn't win, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
But AJ won the main event, so usually that has a lot of importance too. So, and AJ's the match I want to see the most. Though you're right, Keith Lee, it's not impossible. I don't know, like AJ to me seems to be the bigger match.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you. I think AJ makes the most sense, but I don't know. I feel like they might go in the Keith Lee direction right now. They might not, though. Who knows? We'll find out Monday.
Watch Riddle win it.
Yeah, no, I don't. I think Riddle has the least chance. Like Riddle and Drew McIntyre at TLC. You know, because didn't Lee and Drew have like unfinished business at some point? They wrestled each other, and it wasn't quite clear who won.
Right, and MVP did a promo with Riddle, so I think Riddle's probably going to feud with the Hurt Business actually going forward.
Riddle and Lashley maybe for the U.S. title at TLC.
Yeah, that'd be very interesting. I'd like to see that match.
I'd like to see that match too. I think that'd be good. I think TLC has the possibility of being much better than Survivor Series. I think it will be. You want to talk about Asuka, Lana, and all that stuff? So Asuka wrestled Lana for the Raw title. Asuka poured water on Nia Jax and Shayna, who were on commentary, and then Nia and Shayna attacked Asuka, which caused a disqualification win for Asuka. Nia was about to put Asuka through the announce table, but Lana stopped it. Then it led to a tag team match, playa, where Asuka and Lana beat Nia and Shayna. Lana dodging in a non-title match. 2 tag team champions lost this week in non-title matches. Lana dodged Nia charging over the announce desk. Shayna went to choke Lana on the apron and then got rolled up by Asuka. So Asuka and Lana winning. Is this a new tag team? Asuka and Lana?
Well, they won, right? So, I mean, that means they probably should get a tag team title shot. And I could see that on an episode of Raw. I don't know if we're going to see that at the pay-per-view. Do you really think that's going to be a TLC match?
Why not? Pre-show?
And I'm not saying just I'm saying like an actual TLC match. Because remember, was it not last year Asuka was in a TLC match?
I don't think Asuka's going to be in a TLC match if it's a tag team match.
She was last year.
Well, they have been putting, a tables match would make a lot of sense with Lana.
It would. It would make the most sense. I hope they do that actually now that you say that.
Yeah. Women's title, tag team title, tables match, Lana and Asuka versus Nia and Shayna. That way, Nia and Shayna can get the win, and Asuka doesn't really have to lose. Lana just goes through a table, which is just, what happens on Raw every week, so no big deal.
Not this week.
No, yeah, this is the first week in 10 weeks that she hasn't gone through the announce table? Good for Lana. Things are finally turning around. She won the Survivor Series match for her team. She got a win over the tag team champions on Raw. She didn't get put through a table. Business is picking up for Lana.
Good for her.
She's doing better than Miro. Right?
Well, all Miro did was like a backstage segment, didn't he?
Yeah, it's pretty garbage. Miro on AEW is less interesting than Lana on Raw, which says a lot
looks
about
amazing,
Miro in AEW. He looks great, but what's he done? Mac and fart, nothing. He's done a goddamn nothing. He's played video games with Kip Sabian. Lana is more accomplished these days than Miro. Miro ain't doing shit in AEW. All right, before we talk about AEW, I want to tell you about our friends over at Manscaped, okay? Get it together. The holidays are here. Black Friday, Cyber Monday, all the things are happening. December is right Tuesday, okay? December's Tuesday. Are you checking people off your Christmas list? You need to check people off your list. You need to check yourself off your list. How are you for manscaping? How's your balls right now? Are they all right? Do they smell good? You can get ball deodorant at Manscaped. It's very good. Make your balls smell nice, okay? Get yourself the Lawnmower 3.0. Shave your sack. Shave your gimmick, okay? Keep yourself tight. You don't want to look ridiculous. You want to look all hairy like a Sasquatch on your balls? No. Manscaped. Go to manscaped.com. Use that promo code ringside20. When you do, you get free shipping and 20% off your order. That's a deal. Forget Black Friday. Manscaped has your Black Friday deals 24/7 with the promo code ringside20. Get the Lawnmower 3.0. Get all the great Manscaped products. Keep your balls smelling nice. So all the people in your life that see your balls, they come back for more. You know what I'm saying? Anybody sees your balls, chances are you want them to see your balls again. And if they're coming close to your balls, You want to make it as pleasant an experience as possible. Pleasant experience. Things happen for you. Everybody's happy. Okay? Manscaped.com. Promo code ringside20. 20% off your order and free shipping. And you're winning. You're winning in the holidays. You're having a good time. Okay? Everybody's stuck indoors. Not much to do. What are you going to do? Keep yourself manscaped so that, when the opportunity presents itself, you're ready. Stay ready. Manscaped.
Also, I find it's just good to have, so you're used to it. Like, some people, unfortunately, get used to being all hairy down there, and then you get lazy. So don't be lazy. Just always be clean.
AEW Dynamite started off well. Started off very well. Two of my favorite guys in the whole company. Two of my favorite guys in all of wrestling. The superstar of the future, the next world champion, maybe not next, but a future world champion in AEW, Hangman Page, getting the win over my current favorite, John Silver, Silvermania, join the Dark Order. What is the thing they do? This? What's the thing?
I think there's some sort of bent or something with the fingers. Yeah, something like it's like that.
Claw.
Yeah.
Join the Dark Order. Patrick C. Hamilton dropping the super chat. Makes a great Christmas gift. There you go. Boom. Join the Dark Order. Join the Manscaped Order.
I think you meant Manscaped. Yeah, not Dark Order.
Yeah. Dark Order's cool. Dark Order's all Manscaped. You see John Silver in his little trunks? You think he's not Manscaped? You use that promo code ringside20. Silvermania knows what's up. He's wearing those little trunks. You think he wants ball hair sticking out of his trunks? Hell no. Looks terrible. You never see ball hair in wrestling. Never. No one wants to see that. You get fined if you have your ball hair sticking out. It's disgusting. It's gross. No one wants to be thinking about your balls. You're already barely wearing clothes here, Let's take it easy, all right? All right, Johnny? John Silver, Silvermania, loses the match by pinfall after the buckshot lariat from Hangman Page. I thought the match was very good. Dark Order came out after the match. Evil Uno says they're not there to attack Hangman. They want him to join the Dark Order. I don't think he will.
But he did not. I don't think he will either. But
not yet. They kind of teased it like, think about it, Hangman. I don't think he will, though, down the road.
Well, unless, the Elite got back together and, really were a strong force again, but they aren't really doing much. Even if Kenny becomes the champion, I don't think that's going to push Hangman to join the Dark Order. If anything, he's just going to try to capture the title by himself.
Who attacked Jon Moxley last week, though, John? I think it was Hangman. I really do. I don't think it was Kenny. Jon Moxley seems to think that it was Kenny, although Moxley wasn't sure, right? Moxley thought it was Eddie Kingston, and then Eddie Kingston was like, yo, it's not me, man. What are you talking about? And then Kenny was doing his entrance for the contract signing, and Jon Moxley attacked him from behind. Moxley hit Kenny with a paradigm shift on the belt. He says if Kenny wanted to put a hit on him, he should have asked his friends in Philadelphia who do good work. I didn't understand that at all. Do you know what he meant by that?
Well, I know there was a tag team used to be called the Hit Squad. I don't know if they were friends of his, but maybe he was referring to those guys. Or just the fact that Philadelphia, mainly extreme wrestlers, so maybe he's just talking about that.
It was a weird little thing to say. I didn't quite get it. And then Moxley told Kenny that the only way he's going to become world champion if he digs down deep and finds the Kenny that everyone knows that he is. Moxley says Kenny has to do what no one has done in 18 months, and that's beat him. The match is on. Kenny versus Moxley. I don't think Kenny was the one who attacked Moxley. I really don't. I think it was Hangman, and we might find that out when Hangman possibly helps Kenny win the title. I don't know. Is this it? I mean, this is the night. This is the big show. Winter is coming. It's a special episode of Dynamite coming up Wednesday night. AEW Winter is coming. Kenny Omega versus Jon Moxley for the AEW World Championship in the main event. This is what we've been waiting for. This is what I've been waiting for. I mean, forget it. This is what I want to see. Kenny with the belt. Let's put the belt on Kenny. I think the match will be awesome. I want to see Kenny with the belt. Let's go. Winter is coming. It's on. That's a good card from AEW. Cody Rhodes and Darby Allin taking on Ricky Starks and Willie Hobbs. Chris Jericho one-on-one for the first time ever with Frankie Kazarian. A little old school Jericho line there. You like that, John? Talk about Jericho. First time. Remember when you used to do the ever again? Remember that? That was great. Great stuff by Jericho. And Britt Baker takes on Layla Hirsch, whoever the fuck that is. And there's going to be a Dynamite. Whatever. Oh, yeah. She's like the one who's got like amateur styles, right? She's good. I like her, right?
You said you liked her. Now you don't care.
Okay. Well, I mean, I haven't seen her in so long. I forgot about who she was. Yeah. Thanks, John. And then there's a Dynamite Diamond Battle Royal for MJF's ring, right? This is for the diamond ring that MJF currently has. The ring's on the line.
Well, I think it's kind of like, they're doing this every year kind of thing. So, like, yeah, the ring's on the line, but, like, it's going to be like this all the time.
Right, like once a year, the ring is put on the line again in the Battle Royal? Is that the deal?
That's
or do they
what
give
I kind of gathered.
Or does MJF still have a ring and they give a new ring to a new like what's the?
Yeah, I'm not sure about that. If there's going to be a brand new ring or not, I would think it's going to be the same ring, but wait and see.
Okay. Well, MJF is going to be in the match. Matt Hardy, or as he was called on AEW this week, what's the new gimmick? He's the iconic
Big
Matt
money.
Hardy.
Oh,
The iconic Matt Hardy.
Iconic.
I like that.
Jerkbag Matt Hardy, but whatever.
Yeah, he's like a jerk. Talks about how great he is all the time. I like that. I like the new Matt Hardy. We're seeing a lot of it on Being the Elite. Good stuff this week on Being the Elite from Matt Hardy. And, of course, from John Silver, because John Silver's the best. So Matt Hardy's going to be in this. Matt Sydal, Scorpio Sky, Sean Spears, Orange Cassidy, Miro, Hangman, Sammy Guevara, John Silver, who is the current Being the Elite champion, by the way. Alex Reynolds, Private Party, Kip Sabian, Wardlow, and probably some more guys, all in this Battle Royal. Who wins the Battle Royal?
Well, it came down to what, Hangman and MJF last year?
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't be surprised if it comes down to them again, but I think maybe Hangman wins this time.
Seems like Hangman needs a big win. This seems like a big win for Hangman, but maybe not. I could see it going to Hangman. I could see it going to Miro. I could see it going to Sammy Guevara. I could see it going to Matt Hardy. I could see it going many different ways. I'd like to see it going to John Silver, but I just don't see that happening. They're giving a lot to John Silver. I don't think they give him this. Although they could, because he's very, very funny. And that match he had with Hangman was good this week, right? Like, is it me or is Silver the total package? I mean, I guess he's like a little shorter than you might want for a pro wrestler. I don't really care. He's super jacked. He's got a great look. He can talk. He can wrestle. Is this guy everything we want, Johnny?
Well, he's shown signs of a lot of potential so far. Like, he's had, I think, 2 good matches so far. Like, to me, this was my favorite match this week, so it's a good start that he's doing right now, but he's got to keep it going, though. And they got to keep showing him on Dynamite as well. Like, you see a lot of guys, they start off pretty good, and then they kind of just get lost on Dark, so they got to be consistent with him here.
Johnny Hungy. Does Kenny take the title from Moxley? I think he does, Johnny. What do you think?
Well, I think whoever attacked Moxley is going to reveal himself, and that's what's going to cost Moxley the title. So we are going to see a title change, but it's going to be kind of screwy, though.
Okay. Huh. Who do you think that'll be? Do you think it'll be Hangman?
Well,
somebody else? What's your guess? Like, who else is that?
I originally thought it was going to be Lance Archer, but then after what I saw at the end of Dynamite, then I'm like, well, that screwed that up.
Okay. So, alternatively...
Well, probably someone we haven't seen for a while, like someone like Brody Lee coming back.
Yeah.
Maybe like just someone like Shaq showing up would be cool. It's not gonna be Shaq, but
Yeah.
just some sort of surprise.
Shaq
They're
is
big on
supposed
doing
to.
surprises at the end of shows for some reason, so I wouldn't be
Yeah.
surprised if we get that.
Who's out there? Eric
Yeah,
Rowan?
who is out there?
No way, Jose.
Yeah, sure. There's Carlito, Chris Masters, name a bunch of guys, right?
How about No Way
Ryback.
Jose? Ryback. Oh, the Ryback's interesting. How about CM Punk? Nobody talks about him in wrestling anymore. He had that job on WWE Backstage. It kind of fizzled out, and then, like, no one's talking about Punk anymore. People have kind of given up on him. They're like, yeah, all right. We get it, dude. You don't want to do it. We're not going to chant your name anymore. We don't care about you either. You know, like, that's kind of the wrestling fans. I mean, there's nobody's chanting anybody's name, right? But I feel like wrestling fans don't care about CM Punk like they did 2-3 years ago.
Well, I think people have moved on.
Yeah.
For the most
Like, if he
part.
were to show up now, I don't think it would really matter. Like, it would be cool, but it wouldn't get the pop that it would have. Like, it wouldn't be this earth-shattering moment in pro wrestling that it would have been had he come back, when he was done with the UFC.
Right. Well, that's it. You have momentum. You have people like caring about you, but they only care about you for so long until they move on. So
That's it.
and there's other people. So, but as we keep mentioning wrestlers, wouldn't it be awesome if like Kenta showed up and cost Moxley the title?
Yeah, that'd be all right. I think it would be even better if Ibushi showed up and cost Moxley the title. Like doing that for Kenny. Like it was Ibushi the whole time. Ibushi attacked Moxley. Kenny knew. Ibushi shows up, helps Kenny, and then Kenny and Ibushi hug in the middle of the ring to celebrate the win. Like, that would be the ultimate. I don't think it's going to happen. Ibushi's got a contract with New Japan. I don't think the travel is really going to work, but like, if somebody's going to come over from New Japan, you would think Ibushi would be the ultimate story to help his boy Kenny win the belt. He needed Ibushi by his side to finally win the IWGP title, so maybe he needs him to win the AEW belt too. Kenny isn't the same without Kota Ibushi. The Golden Lovers reunited once again. You want to talk about great tag teams? They're a tag team. And they're one of the best tag teams in the world when they're together.
Well, I'm expecting a surprise. That's what we seem to get at the end of every Dynamite recently, so I think we're going to get that.
If Ibushi shows up, I'm going to shed tears, baby. I'm going to be crying. It's going to be it's going to be crazy. Like, Ibushi, if he's the guy to help Kenny, like, it could not get better. It could not get better. For me, like, it would be a very emotional moment for a lot of wrestling fans. Johnny, you might not get it, but I'm telling you, that would be crazy. Crazy. Wow. Willie Hobbs beat Lee Johnson. And you might say, who? And you'd be right. Who are these guys? It doesn't matter. Willie Hobbs is Taz's new buddy. And then Taz comes out and cuts a promo about the FTW title and the FTW lifestyle, whatever that is, and how it's not respected in AEW. And Taz demands that someone from management come out to tell him why the FTW title isn't respected. And you're like, what? Because, like, who cares? And then Taz's mic gets cut off because he's going off the rails. He's shooting. And Taz gets on another mic and it's cut off, and he tells Tony Khan and Keith Mitchell, the director, that he's going to go to the announce desk if they keep cutting off his mic. And then Cody shows up, and Cody Rhodes is like, what are you doing here? And then Shivani's on commentary, and he says, Tony Khan wants Taz to leave the ring right now. And then Taz says we're a step away from Tony Khan coming out and cutting a promo, right? I thought Tony Khan was going to come out and be like, Taz, you need to get out of the ring now. And I don't want to see that. Okay? Taz is not happy with Cody. Taz cuts a big promo on Cody, and then Cody's like, "Well, Taz, how come your son is training with me and not his father?" And Taz gets really mad and says Cody's gone too far, and then he goes to leave, and Cody's got his back turned, and Taz puts a chokehold on Cody Rhodes, the Taz mission. And then Taz goes to leave, and there's like a kid there ringside, and they say that that's Taz's son that they were talking about, and his name is Hook. And then he leaves with Taz. Taz and Hook leave together. And then Billy Gunn and QT Marshall eventually show up to like tell Taz to go away and stop hurting their friend Cody. What the fuck was that? What the fuck was that? That was garbage. How you gonna buy Taz really like shooting on the company and Tony Khan, you better not cut my mic off. Come on, man. I just didn't buy it. I didn't buy any of it. I didn't buy Taz, being this loose cannon, disrespected by AEW, and you're not respecting the FTW world title. The FTW lifestyle, whatever that is. The fuck the world lifestyle? That's a lifestyle, Taz? How's that a lifestyle? Explain to me what the FTW lifestyle really is. Because to me, it's just a gold and orange belt that you gave to Brian Cage that you used to hold in ECW when you pretended to be a tough guy. Fucking Taz. I mean...
Well, I thought it was kind of interesting that his
Taz,
son...
who's what? Taz is what? A black belt in judo? So is Tay Conti. Am I supposed to be scared of her too? No, there's no disrespect to judo, but like, you know what I'm saying? Taz talking all this shit. Tay Conti's got the same credentials as you, my man. And she's a blue belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, which I should say you shouldn't really be bragging about on TV. You don't need to brag about, like, okay, I'm a black belt in judo, and I'm a blue... Like, Tay Conti is on TV. She's like, I'm a black belt in judo, and I'm a blue belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, so I'm going to teach you all sorts of shit. Like, blue belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is like, second level. It goes white, blue, purple, brown, black. If you're a purple belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, you could start bragging about it. You're a brown belt, you could talk some shit. You're a black belt, yeah. Don't cut a promo about how you're a blue belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, because that doesn't mean shit to anybody, really. There are millions of blue belts in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. You don't see Fred cutting a promo, I'm a blue belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. You know what I mean? Fred Garcia, Ringside Report Radio, also a blue belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. You don't hear AJ cutting a promo about, I'm a brown belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, although you might. He might.
I feel like we have, actually.
Yeah, we have. But he's got the right because he's a brown belt. That's legit,
All respect for that, too.
I'm okay. I'm a decent grappler, but I'm never going to be like, oh, I'm this and I'm that, because I'm not this or that. I'm okay. I'm like blue belt level, I'm not like some world champion. Tay Conti, blue belt Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. It's like, all right. Me too.
Yeah, but they don't sell it like that. They say first black belt in judo, then they say blue belt.
Well, just say black belt in judo, like, end it there. Like, hey, look, blue belt Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, cool, but like, you're not the badass of the academy if you're a blue belt, right?
Wow, to be fair, she's probably more of a badass than most people there, so.
I think Tay Conti might be able to kick my ass, but I'm not sure. Black belt in judo, okay. Blue belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, I don't know. I'm not sure. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you're saying you're a blue belt, I'm like, yeah, all right. And? I'm not that impressed.
Well, you have confidence. It's good.
Well,
it's all right. So you're going to challenge her one day. That's nice.
No, I mean, I don't want to wrestle Tay Conti. I'm just saying, like, it's weird that she's like talking shit about her blue belt. It's just a weird thing to mention in a promo. When she mentioned that, I was like, oh. It's like you never see the UFC guys be like, like a commentary being like, oh, he's a really good grappler. He's a blue belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Like, no one would ever say that in the UFC. They'd be like, oh, he's a really good grappler. He's a black belt from so-and-so. He won this and this. He's a no-gi world champion in da-da-da-da-da. They wouldn't be like, oh, he's a blue belt. They'd be like, can you believe he's such a great grappler? He's only a blue belt. That's what they would say, Like John Jones was like a blue belt at some point. I think he might be a purple belt now or something, but he was like a world-class MMA fighter, and he was like a white belt in jiu-jitsu. That's just because he never put on a gi. And that's another thing people don't really understand. Like, the belt system is only when you're wearing the gi, Anyways, good for Tay Conti. She's a badass, okay? She'll kick your ass, Johnny North, all right?
I never asked for the fight. You asked for the fight.
I'm asking for the fight. You bring it, Tay Conti! I'm not trying to fight a lady, John. How dare you? I'm just saying, she'd kick my ass, she'd kick your ass, all right? She's a real badass. And she'd kick Taz's ass, too. And Hook. And Cody Rhodes. And Lee Johnson. I mean, everybody beats Lee Johnson. So, Taz, Cody, all that shit, I didn't like it. And now we see.
I like that his son came out. That's kind of
why. Cool. Is he the Dominic Mysterio of AEW? Hook Taz? Wait, what's his last name? Is it Taz? Is it just Hook? Hook Taz.
So,
I think his name is
Taz.
Yeah, that's right. Mr. Taz. Tasmanian? Is he Hookmanian? What's his last name? Does he have a last name? Yeah, Taz's last name is Taz. Taz. And now his son Hook Taz. I don't know. Who gives a shit? It's fucking stupid.
I think they're a bit smarter here where they're going to be like, he's not going to wrestle Hook. I think he's just there to tell the story, and that was it.
I think he's a captain.
Maybe you'll see.
Of some
maybe
sort.
You could see him on Dark, though. Because they let anybody wrestle in Dark. I saw a guy dressed up in a panda wrestle in Dark. So,
that's the panda guy who's Jurassic Express guy's friend, the Luchasaurus's buddy. I think they used to be a tag team. He's been on Being the Elite. They let the panda guy wrestle. Kind of a chubby guy in a panda outfit.
Exactly.
Not good.
Well, it's just. So it's kind of a joke of a match. Like, it seems like, let's just let our friends wrestle, which is fine. But I mean,
I don't know how you put yourself through that. Like, you're sitting here, you're watching AEW Dark, right? You're seeing these wrestlers get to wrestle that couldn't lace your boots, and you're sitting on the couch and you can't wrestle anywhere. Like, these guys just happen to get the shot in AEW. They're wrestling on AEW Dark, and like you said, they let just about anybody wrestle on that show. And I'm just like, God damn. Like, Alex Reynolds is like a bootleg Johnny North. Have you seen that guy? You kind of look like him, but you're like, in really good shape and much bigger.
Probably cut a better promo too, but
yeah,
that's besides the point. But the idea of Dark, I don't have a problem with it. I just don't like the format of it. The fact that I had to sit through 16 matches. Again, I can't even tell you everyone who wrestled on this show. Like, I don't remember everything that happened. I know a bunch of matches happened, and there's a bunch of segments too that happened too. So, man, it was long. But I like the idea, though. I like the fact that it gives people opportunities that wouldn't get opportunities, a chance to wrestle on big stage. So I like that for wrestlers. I mean, it sucks for guys like us that are in Canada, but guys that are there, I mean, I'm glad they get that opportunity because it wasn't there before.
Yeah, it's true. It's a good showcase. And if you make a good enough showing, they invite you back. And if you keep performing, they'll give you a contract. Just like those guys, Top Flight, they got a contract, right? And
they did get a contract.
Is their last name Hughes?
I'm not 100% sure, but possibly.
I think
so.
Are they Mr. Hughes' sons? Curtis Hughes?
You'd have to really double check that. I would verify that one. Because just because you have the same last name, like there's a lot of same last names in wrestling.
Top Flight.
But they had a very good match too against TH2. I enjoyed that match as well.
Oh, that
A lot of
happened
enjoyable
on,
matches actually.
was that Dark? Oh no, that was on Dynamite, right?
That was on Dynamite this week actually.
Yeah. That's a Dark match. That shouldn't be on Dynamite. TH2 beating Top Flight. A lot of flips and flops in that match. I mean, you know, I kind of tuned out.
You're okay with it when the Bucks did it, like it was.
The Bucks mean something. These guys don't mean anything. TH2's been in AEW since the start. They're the biggest jabroni tag team they have. And most of their tag teams are jabroni tag teams. Like, they're bigger jabronis than the Butcher and the Blade, who actually won this week, but, you know. TH2, like, come on. I like them and all, but, like, they've not been given a good push. And their promos are super weird, and their gear is awful. They look terrible when they come out. They can wrestle, but god damn, they can't talk and they look bad. So they look very low rent.
Well, I'll admit I'm a little biased because I met Jack Evans and he was really cool to me. So
okay,
I really want him to do well. So
his partner's
I
gear
looked the other
sucks.
way on. And Helico,
yeah,
but
his gears
well.
and Helico doesn't look like a wrestler at all. At all. I like Jack Evans. The other guy. Anyways, they beat Top Flight. They kept attacking Top Flight after the match, and then the Young Bucks made the save. So I guess TH2 and the Young Bucks will wrestle at some point. Not on Winter is Coming. Cody and Darby will wrestle Ricky Starks and Willie Hobbs from Team Taz on Dynamite this Wednesday. Yeah. It's not the match I'm looking forward to the most. Is what it is.
Well, I mean, if they're gonna set each other on fire because Darby Allin did that promo where he just set his car on fire. So I mean, if they're just gonna have a fire death match, I mean, I'll really look forward to that. But I have a feeling we're not gonna get that.
This is not a no rules match, isn't this a straight up tag team? 2-on-2, normal.
Yeah, as of right now, I mean, they could change that though. So wait and see. But I think it should just stay at regular because it's not the main event.
I think you have Cody and Darby lose again. Keep giving wins to Ricky Starks and Hobbs and that whole group. You got to make them legitimate. You got to make them mean something because right now they're just kind of there. They got to keep winning to make you care. Because right now I don't really care. I have a hard time giving a shit about Ricky Starks.
That's a tough situation though, because like you already had like Darby Allin in his first match since winning the TNT title, he lost, and they're going to eat another loss as well. That's tough for your brand new champion.
Mm-hmm. Who's not defending the belt? It's a TNT title. He hasn't defended it once.
Well, there's nothing that says that he has to defend it all the time. He just pretty much has to make appearances on TNT. That's it.
Mm-hmm. Jericho and Hager got the win over Christopher Daniels and Frankie Kazarian. Jericho got the pin on Daniels after the Judas effect. Lots of inner circle interference in that match. And a punch with the diamond ring from MJF. MJF helping Jericho too. The inner circle, just huge group. They seem to be working together so far. Inner circle beat down SCU after the match. Scorpio Sky showed up with a chair. And the entire inner circle left the ring before Scorpio touched anyone. It was like 8 guys in the ring, right? How many guys were in the ring? Jericho, Hager, Santana, Ortiz, Sammy, MJF, Wardlow. 7 guys. And big guys, too. 7 men. 1 guy shows up with a chair. They all scatter. No one even tries to take the chair away from Scorpio. That's it.
Hey, you saw on Smackdown tonight, chair shots are devastating. You don't want to get hit with the chair.
At least they hit people with chairs on SmackDown. AEW, they just like threaten with chairs. I think Pentagon did the same thing last week, did he not? When he came out with the chair to stop Eddie Kingston and the Butcher and Blade from beating up his brother, he didn't actually hit them. He just showed up with the chair, and then they ran off. At least then it was like 2-3 guys. I get them being afraid of a man with a chair, but 7 guys backing away from one man? Little weird. But hey, it's AEW. Doesn't always make sense.
Share the chair.
Okay. Miro and Kip are backstage playing video games in a trailer. Orange Cassidy shows up, turns the Xbox off. Miro gets mad, says, "My wife bought me that," which I thought was good. And then chased him off. The best friends attacked them. And then the best friends powerbombed Kip into a porta potty, which I thought was pretty cool. I guess Miro and Kip versus the best friends is going to happen. Hasn't been booked for Wednesday night, but at some point down the road, should go down. What will happen Wednesday night is Chris Jericho versus Frankie Kazarian 1-on-1. Yes. That's good stuff. I'm looking forward to that. First time ever, you know? Frankie Kazarian, a legit legend of the game. Chris Jericho, of course, a super legend of the game. That's a hell of a match right there. First time ever 1-on-1. I'm down with that. Should be good.
Yeah, it's a pretty solid card, like top to bottom. I mean, it isn't like a huge special event, but it really should be. Like, Winter is Coming is kind of a cheap special event name, but it should have a bit more prestige because this is going to be a big night, I think.
I mean, Kenny versus Moxley for the belt. Jericho Kazarian 1-on-1. Cody and Darby versus Starks and Hobbs. The Dynamite Diamond Battle Royal. And Britt Baker versus Layla Hirsch, which, Britt's going to win, whatever. But that's a hell of a card. They have really set it up for Wednesday night. I'm surprised the Young Bucks aren't wrestling, but I guess they stacked it up so much. There's only so much room on a 2-hour program. FTR resurfaced this week. They cut a backstage promo on the Young Bucks. They want revenge. They want another shot, and they are determined to win the titles back. So FTR still in AEW. And they'll be back. I was kind of wondering. I was like, oh, maybe they were just in there to drop the belts and have a little run and then disappear. But they will be back at some point.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised they're just waiting for the next pay-per-view, like those kind of matches, they kind of hold off for the big events. So the feud with TH2 is pretty much the TV feud for now.
Mm-hmm. And I guess we'll see that resume on TV in a couple weeks after this Dynamite. They still have, more shows to go this month. Hikaru Shida beat Anna Jay to retain the AEW Women's title. Abaddon showed up after the match and licked the belt. Shida looked frightened. Abaddon is a monster. She's super scary, quite a look on her. Looks like she's next for Shida. And, I'm down with that. That'll be fun. I like Abaddon. I was wondering where she's been.
Well, she got injured when she wrestled Conte. I think it was supposed to be on an episode of Dynamite, but never aired because she got hurt.
Right.
And this is another thing, too. Like, I mean, it's great that she comes out and, licks the title, puts it in blood. That's fine, but, we haven't really seen her wrestle on Dynamite in months. I feel like she should have at least a couple of matches before we get the title match, because it's hard to believe she's going to beat this long-reigning champion when she doesn't even wrestle on the show regularly.
I feel like Shida could lose at any point. She has held the title for a while, but I don't feel like she has tons of momentum. I did appreciate that there was a video package before the Anna Jay match where Shida spoke. How often do we see Shida talk?
Well, it's only going to be in that kind of way because they have to plan it out kind of thing and probably do many takes because it's not going to be good live.
Well, they need more of it then. They need to work on it. They need to develop her character because, she's a champion, but, no one cares. So, Abaddon could beat her. Anybody could beat her because no one really cares. Butcher and the Blade beat Pac and Rey Fenix after some interference from the Bunny and Eddie Kingston. Kingston, Butcher, and Blade beat down Pac, Phoenix, and Pentagon after the match. And then Lance Archer showed up to make the save and seemed to have some words for Eddie Kingston. I don't know why. Do you know why?
Well, it's because Eddie complains that he was never eliminated from the Battle Royal.
That Archer won.
Right. So I think it comes down to that.
The Battle Royal at what?
That was at All Out.
All Out. Back in September?
Yeah.
Has Archer got his title shot since winning the Battle Royal?
He did, but Eddie got the shot first because Archer tested positive.
Right. So the beef is from the Battle Royal in September, and they're only coming around to trying to resolve it now?
Yeah, pretty much.
Buh.
I didn't say it was great.
It's not. And is Archer now with Pac, Phoenix, and Pentagon? Or is he just on his own and he hates Eddie Kingston?
Yeah, I think it just happened to be circumstance right there. Though I did love the entrance when he just went over the top rope with, I think it was the Blade. That looked like fun.
Mm-hmm. That was the end of Dynamite. Not a great finish to the show. I didn't think the show was that good this week, but they're hopefully saving all their best shit for Wednesday night. Winter is coming.
I actually find the tape shows that they've made them more organized now. Before, it just felt very disjointed, but now it feels like it's kind of proper. They really go over stuff, and it feels like the format runs a lot smoother. Commentary, for some reason, sounds better. I don't know if they redo stuff, but it sounds like they're more into the action. When it's live, sometimes they get lost and they aren't really there with the action. So I actually find tape shows, it sounds and looks better. As long as we get picture-in-picture, for some reason TSN doesn't give us picture-in-picture sometimes. When we get it does look good.
Yeah, but what about the actual content of the show?
Well, there were some things I liked. I mean,
Yeah.
I thought it started off good. Maybe the last hour wasn't as good, but I find they do that on purpose, though. I don't know about you. It seems they've done this for a couple of weeks. They'll pretty much put out their best stuff right away to get people attached to it, and then it's like, well, we got them. Now we just put on whatever else we have left.
Yeah, they've been doing that since the start. They like to start out strong. They've usually started the show with their strongest match. That's usually the formula for Dynamite. They start off with the best match, and then if they have another one in the main event, great. But if they don't, so be it. They started off strong, and they got people to watch their show instead of NXT, which is the goal, it seems like. Even though, nobody seems to be watching NXT anymore. I'm not.
Well, I think the idea is to always, you want to have a good opener to start a show. It should always be that way. I don't know why we need a 20-minute promo to start a show. I find that actually hurts the show, but that's me.
NXT has War Games coming up next Sunday, the 6th of December. How about that?
Yeah, I'm not really looking forward to it that much. I think it's Undisputed Era against Pat McAfee and his little group.
Ugh.
Not really looking forward to that. Yeah,
Pat
exactly.
McAfee's wrestling again?
Of course. Your buddy.
Oh, God. Who's Leon Ruff?
He's the brand new North American champion.
Defending
he was actually in AEW
Gargano
for a
and
bit.
Priest. He was?
Right. Yeah, he was a job guy for a little bit, and then he became a job guy in WWE, and now he's the champ.
And he'll wrestle against Gargano and Priest at War Games next week. Dexter Loomis and Cameron Grimes in a strap match. And Team Shotzi versus Team Candice in War Games. And Toni Storm turned heel this week. She's on Team Candice with Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez. Okay. That's what's going on in NXT world, and that's about all I'm going to give NXT because who cares? Johnny, that's the show. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Go to ringsidereport.net. That's our online home. All our things are there. I'll be back here on Thursday night, every Thursday night, 8 p.m. for Ringside Report MMA with AJ and Freddie. We're bringing it to you. And then, of course, every Friday night here after Smackdown, right? Wrestling Uncensored. RingsideReport.net. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Dave Simon MMA. You can follow Johnny on Instagram at Genesis Johnny North and on Twitter at North Genesis. Big shout out to Patrick C. Hamilton for supporting on the Super Chat. Thank you to everybody for watching on YouTube, on Twitch, and on Facebook. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channels. Like the channel, subscribe to the channel, and help us out. Leave a comment as well. We appreciate it big time. For Johnny, I'm Dave. Thanks, everybody, for watching and listening. This has been Wrestling Uncensored. See ya.